Hello, VIPKid teachers. My name is Teacher Christy, and I've been with VIPKid for over a year now. I started back in October of 2017, and in this video, I want to share with you the top 3 things I wish I would have known when I first started so that you can benefit from my mistakes. Okay, so number 1, catching all errors. Now, I was really nervous at first to catch all pronunciation errors. If I heard a word even said kind of correctly, I said, oh, okay, they did well. Okay, all hundreds on all unit assessments. Here, glitter everybody. But that's not what the parents want. That's not what my students' parents want. And as on the flip side, as a parent of 3 toddlers, when they become of age and they can take Lingo Bus and learn Chinese, I want their Chinese instructor to tell me what they actually need help in, and I want them to catch the mistakes in a kind and positive way. So, same for my students. I catch all the mistakes and I make sure to circle and usually just underline or very lightly dot, and then after they read, then go through and say, let's practice 3 words, and then I circle and then we read one by one. And I'll even break up the words, and if there is a long passage and my student is not fluent in English yet, or if they've been making a lot of mistakes, then I will bracket just what I want them to read and draw a huge line where I want them to stop. Please read. And then we practice so that I'm not going through and telling them 20 things they need to pronounce. I don't want to bring them down. I want to encourage them and help them, with their English learning journey. Okay, and number 2, and that's including in feedback. I want to let the parents know what they should practice on and the things they improved in during my class. Option 2, um, reading comprehension. Reading comprehension, and it's not just the questions that VIPKid gives you. It's what I do now. If there's a word that I know is either really big or a little bit complicated, I'll say, do you know what this means? And usually my student sits there silently, and I say, yes or no? No. I say, it's okay. And then I'll teach them, because sometimes they're embarrassed to say they don't know what it means. They've learned how to pronounce it correctly, but they don't know what it means sometimes. So I say it's okay, and I explain it, and I use either pictures or I use some kind of visual aid, props. And then all of a sudden light bulbs go off, and those are the moments that I'm like, yes, they actually know what they're reading as well. Number 3 is talking too much. That's in everyday life. If you're in a room and your lips are getting dry and you need a drink and you realize you've been talking and not listening for about an hour, 10 minutes, in VIPKid world, even a minute or 2 is forever, and you realize the student hasn't said anything on the slide yet or has only said 1 word, there's a problem. So what I do now, if that happens, if I'm telling a story or anything, then I make sure to ask a lot of questions, and I make sure to have them read or answer questions not on the slide about the slide so that they've talked plenty during each slide. If someone came in, an administrator came in on the other side and looked, I want them to be able to say, yes, this student, or the parent to look and say, my student talked this much on this slide. Yes, for every single slide. Happy teaching, and let me know below the top 3 things that maybe you didn't know before, or maybe you got better at it, you improved during your teaching journey with VIPKid. So to summarize, I wrote it down. I'm not going to talk as much. I'm going to check their reading comprehension, and I'm going to catch all errors possible. Happy teaching.